Some days, you just need to pick me up. And that pick me up may or may not consist of ice cream. After breakfast. Or breakfast lunch situation. Hello there, everybody. My name is Celestia Rax. And today we are discussing nonsense I believed in my 20s. Number one. Well, yeah, things I used to believe in and stuff that over time has revealed itself to be less and less factual. Well, to me anyway. You may differ from this list, you may have additional items. These items may grow. I'm already 23 now. But yeah, we shall see how it goes. Okay. This channel discusses things like economics, analytics, and sometimes just my personal opinion on things, and with the occasional DIY. So if you're interested in that, then hit the subscribe button. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, the first of which is real adults have pajamas. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but most nights I am lazy as anything and will toss on basically whatever is available, from sweats to boxer shorts to that random t-shirt in my cupboard. So, you know, the whole idea of having matching silk sets and stuff, like, it sounds great, but if you spill coffee on them, spill toothpaste, you know, if you're klutzy, such as someone like myself, then they're not exactly practical. That's the first point. Second point, if you're single and living on your own, or just single in general, the only person you're really dressing up for is yourself, the bathroom mirror, and your dog. So, and your dog prefers for you to be in something comfy than in something super sexy. Because, like, what you gonna do with the super sexy silky pants, huh? Yeah, you're just gonna get all your hair on it. That's what you're gonna do. Yeah. I don't mean like pajamas are a bad thing to have. I just think that there's a lot of clothing items or things that people are like, oh yes, one day when you grow up you will need this thing. And you don't necessarily. For example, you might discover that it's not part of your style. You think it's ridiculous. You can't wear them for whatever reason. Or they're just uncomfortable. For example, a lot of people always like talking about stilettos. However, I don't like to wear things that don't have like straps or like, I don't know, that aren't wedges or such. So I don't buy stilettos ever without the little strap, or yeah, it's a rule of mine. So yes, I just wanted to add that in there. The next point, the next thing about pajamas is they tend to cost a lot of money. And as someone who really loves her clothes, I will be completely honest with you in that I am far more likely to spend a lot of money on something that will see me through many an adventure and a couple grocery store runs than I am on something that will maybe see the light of day when I'm in an emergency situation. That's about it. Yeah. The next lie, or belief or something, is that you need to move out of the house right away in order to be a good or an accomplished adult. Spoiler alert, you don't. Stuff is expensive. Rent, levies, rates and taxes, water, electricity, refuse, all of those things add up. And that's without medical insurance, pet insurance if you have a puppy, petrol, servicing your car, things like that. So all of those things add up, and they're things that you have to pay for. And if you are trying to save up to set yourself up on the best foot, then living at home might be the best thing for you. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to still deal with some rules and stuff, but in the long run, setting yourself up for the future might be more important. Also, the realities of how much things cost tend to swamp people. So having a plan and knowing what is what right in the beginning is really essential. Also, even though you want to live your best life, you also don't want to end up with credit card debt. So look after yourselves. Number 3, and this is probably the one that gets me so much, is there's a standard version of the dream lifestyle. For example, and I don't really know how best to explain this, but everybody feels like you have to go and hit these milestones by a certain age, whether it's marriage, children, accomplishing your degree or honors degree or whatever it is you're trying to finish, getting a job. How you go about getting it, how you go about getting it done is, there's so many different versions of success and so many different versions of dreams because people are different and what they want is different. So, yeah. Most of us don't want the same things, and therefore our lives and our personal versions of accomplishments or big steps in life will look different to each other's. So, yeah. Number 4 is a bit more contentious. It's like, basically the idea that clubbing or partying is the essential thing for this moment in life. Like, I have done that, and on the one hand, it is a lot of fun, but I currently am in a season where I feel a bit like a workaholic old lady, or like a overworked middle-aged lady, because, you know, there are just times in your life where you're working more and times in your life where you're going out more and there are times when you're also spending way too much time with your dog and knitting. So, yeah. But personally, my main problem with clubbing is that, like, drinking is not as much fun as people make out. I feel like movies and TV and such basically create this, like, idea of what you're supposed to be doing in your early 20s. And it's not as great as they make it out. I wish there had been somebody showing me about book clubs and, you know, going for lunch and high tea and all those things. We were like meetups and stuff, and hiking. There wasn't that many of those types of things around on TV. There wasn't people going off and doing, you know, boring things, but that actually was a bit more fun. So in that way, I feel like it wasn't exactly, it was too hyped, the clubbing and night lifestyle thing, and not everybody's actually into it. So yeah, that was that. You have to get a standard job. And this is not so much as a nonsense belief as it is just there are so much more opportunities and more ways of doing things now than it was when my parents were growing up, and well, our parents in general. So yeah, things have just changed so much. I know people who have left to go teach English in China. I know people who have abandoned their degrees to start a personal training course or fitness course. I know people who are doing social media jobs. I know people who are doing actual jobs. I know people who have started their own companies. Everybody's doing multiple things. I even know someone who's crypto mining. So there are so many different ways to make money and to find your chosen career now that, yeah, those types of things are no longer true. Number 6, an office wardrobe is an essential. I think it's highly dependent on what industry you're in. I'm more in like the technical or IT industry, so I tend to get away with more like jeans and appropriate blouses or tops, but it really depends. So before you go and splurge on an office wardrobe, do check out what people in your office are actually wearing. I know the accountants and the actuaries are always dressed to the nines, but that's their industry. So make sure what you're wearing or what you're planning on buying is actually appropriate for the department you're going into. Number 7. The next one is you'll find the one pretty quickly, or rather on your own schedule. Life has a way of happening in its own times and doesn't really care about your plans or ideal timelines. So even though you may have imagined that you would already have your perfect person right by now, or that you would already have gone traveling, or that you would already have done this and this and this and this, those things aren't necessarily going to happen in the order that you imagined, or in the way that you had planned in your perfect little notebook. So that doesn't mean that it still won't happen, or that life won't have a way of making it happen. But believing in miracles, believing in a little bit of magic, accepting that things aren't always in your control is essential. Okay, yeah, thank you for watching if you're still at the end here. Yeah, so this is kind of more of a chatty video, and from next week we'll get back to the analysis and economics in daily life. But yeah, anyway, see you next week. Bye. Okay.